Hi, I'm Eric David, and I am writing a book on my former instructor, Jack Richard, and I am going to be composing a compendium of his art teachings. Jack has had many instructors over the years, and I would also like to include a biography on his life. Jack has been commissioned to paint 4 presidents. Here he is shown presenting the portrait for the Ambassador of Golf Award to George Bush Sr., who was then President of the United States. Jack was also commissioned by the Tupperware Company to paint the largest portraits ever made of Dwight D. Eisenhower and his wife, which were 60 feet tall. Jack has also painted such notables as Bing Crosby, Charles Schulz, along with a myriad of others. Jack's many teachers include Charles Birchfield, which here Jack is shown presenting his portrait of Birchfield to the director of the Birchfield Homestead Museum, also Aaron Borod, who is the painter of many Time magazine covers, and Robert Brackman of the New York Art Students League. Jack also studied and or worked with many other nationally prominent artists, including John Carroll, Ben Stahl, Ben Shahn, Yasuo Kuniyoshi, Paul Sample, Gladys Rockmore Davis, Herb Olson, Louis Grell, and Cliff Idle and Bob Skemp. Some of Jack's former students include John Christopher Heindel, who was the creator of the MGM Grand Lion, which was the largest bronze sculpture in the hemisphere at the time, while he was the art director for Art Enterprises. Another of Jack's former students is Colleen Black, who was commissioned by former General Colin Powell to create sculptures for himself and the Congressional Medal of Honor recipients in the First Gulf War. Yet another former student was Charles Fall, who American Artist magazine proclaimed was the best realist artist living in America, and they said that twice, actually, in separate decades. Another of Jack's former students was Mark Giangaspero, who won the Butler Institute of American Art's mid-year show 2 years in a row with separate judges, and also received the Purchase Award for both of those years. And here I am standing in front of one of his large-scale works. Other former students include Andrew Voth, who was the former director of the Carnegie Museum in California, Jack Adams, Ken Pledger, and many, many others. And the body of the book will be made up of all the techniques used from start to finish. When we start with sketches and ideas, we bring them to color comprehensive and color studies, and then we take them all the way to the finished product. I want to cover landscapes, portraits, still life, abstraction, basically any method that we need to use. Jack's teachings come from all of his teachers, the old masters, Norman Rockwell, so many others. I want to cover materials. Here I show a color study, a full-blown color study before I do a trompe l'oeil painting. I'm going to show how to prepare the panels for that painting. Really just go through very in-depth of all materials needed, all techniques that we use, just covering everything so that somebody coming in off the street that has never painted anything before can learn how to properly draw and properly paint objects. And we get that, all the way to the finished product. So then even somebody who is a seasoned artist, they'll hear things in this book that they've never heard anywhere else. And Jack was recently working on a project where he was taking poems that a woman had written about his paintings. He was going to compile them into a book. And she recently passed away, so he was thinking about giving up on the project. And then he attended her funeral, and the pastor presiding over the ceremonies said to everyone that they should do whatever they can to keep the person who has passed away's name alive. And it was a very ephemeral statement. However, Jack took it that the guy was almost speaking to him. And basically, I would like to do something like this for Jack while he is still here. He's 89 years old, but he's very vibrant. He still works from morning to night very hard. He teaches. He's very enthusiastic about what he does. And so I would really just like to see this project come to fruition so that I can try to honor him. And he's still here to appreciate it. So basically, that's the generalization, the gist of my project, and I thank you in advance for all of your support. And I don't just need necessarily monetary support, but anyone that could spread the word on this, just so that I can try to really make this happen. If you can post it on Facebook, Twitter, you can also friend me on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. But any way that you could pass this around and get the word out, I think this is a very important project, and I feel like this is something that I should really do for Jack. He and Mark, when I started teaching myself, told me that one of the best things I can do is to pass on the information that I have garnished from all of their teachings. And so I thought that this was probably the best way for me to do that on a large scale. I could pass it on to many people that I would never encounter in the classroom this way, and really give them over all of the knowledge which I have received. So thank you very much.